just as since we're here and I got some time this evening, so we've used that control system to launch everything from these little tiny ones, 5 inches long, to the next size, which is a kind of like a starter rocket, so like 11 inches long. Works really well with those. All right, just because this is a fun down memory lane here. Here's an Oracle rocket, and the interesting thing about this is a single stage rocket, but the nose section, when it pops, there's actually a camera here. So as it's traveling upward, it's taking pictures of the ground, and then the nose pops, and we have adjusted the parachute to keep the nose pointed up, where normally the parachute would be this way. We keep the nose up so the camera can, when it's coming down to the ground, the camera takes pictures, and you can then download the images, and you have a video of your rocket flight. So this is always an interesting one to fly. One wants to see the videos. All right, let's have a look at this calamity. It's amazing the stuff that will actually like fly, right? So here we have some tubing of some type that we've taped on for launch lugs. You know, we use a 1/4 inch rod, 4-foot rod for launching these bigger ones. You can see the fins have been broken a few times. They've been re-glued on haphazardly. It takes a bigger engine. This is single stage. This is for an altimeter goes in here, so it has a little air hole, so you can take put an altimeter in. It tells you how high you've gone. This connects to, actually, since this is screwed on, this might be a payload section here, I think, because the nose section's screwed on. So this pops, and then you have a nose section with cargo in it. Yeah, and they have the altimeter. You can see that it's been through a lot, kind of like a let's try something new type of rocket. So this rocket is 1 foot, 2 foot, 3 foot, just shy of 4 foot. This was a rocket for competition. It was to take, had to launch an egg to X number of feet and had to come back down in so many seconds and not break. So this was a single stage rocket, separated here with a parachute, came down, and then this nose section opens, and inside here is where we had egg with foam, different types of foam and cotton ball construction to an egg carrier so the egg would not break when it landed. And of course you don't have to come down too fast, so you have a bigger parachute here. Yeah, so this one got pretty close to it came down to our final launch to qualify. I think it was you know, by the time it's probably early November, by the time students actually build a rocket and we get people to come out and qualify. So, you know, squall line moves through. It's temperatures are dropping, winds are increasing, hail's coming down. Students stayed out there and launched and just missed qualifying for nationals. You know, thankfully in my years of doing this, I've enjoyed it a lot. No one's gotten hurt. We haven't damaged any significant property. But I believe this was a 2-stage rocket. You can kind of tell by the backside this has its own engine. So booster stage kicks off. This thing ignites, supposed to go up. Except if you don't have the timing set right on the second phase, that instead of pointing up, this actually turns down and then the engine fires. So it then becomes like a not even a missile. We've had some rockets that go up and then turn horizontal and like a shoulder fired missile into a wall or whatever. But when it turns this way and fires, then like we got like a re-entry vehicle, right? And you can tell by the nose section here that this thing got buried a good 1.5 feet in the dirt that we had to dig out. It was still smoking We gotta go get a shovel and dig it out of the football field. No one got hurt, thankfully. This is my rocket. This is a two-stage rocket, and it has an interstage coupler. Yeah, so this is the booster. This falls off. This continues ballistic flight, and then this thing at a pre-selected delay will fire a second engine that will then take this one higher. I'm just going to put this back together as we're talking. At which point it will ignite the ejection charge. This part will come off, and it has its own parachute. And then this part is the upper stage. We're working our way down. And then this part, ejection charge, pops the nose section with its parachute. And then this part here, take the nose cone off, this is a cargo compartment to put things in. So a two-stage rocket with an interstage coupler, cargo, and we had also purchased to try a nose section recovery because it's up so high, the little bit of wind with a parachute takes it far away. So the idea is that you can let this thing drop pretty fast because it's up so high, and then at a predetermined altitude it will trigger, and there's another section here, and then the parachute pops out at a lower altitude so it doesn't drift as far downrange. Yeah, so we had beacons, we've had GPS units. I don't know if it was a GPS unit, but there was a beacon, altimeters we've used. Just lots of fun. And before we worked with the interstage coupler, it was a two-stage, but this is the booster stage that did not have the interstage coupler. It was just a static one. So lots of fun over the years launching rockets. I'm glad my grandson's a little interested. So in the springtime here, hopefully we'll get some of the smaller ones, and maybe we'll find a nice spot to launch some of these bigger ones. But man, the slightest breeze takes these things far downrange, so you need a wide open space. And we're not like out in California where we have salt flats or anything. We have lots of trees up here in Buffalo, so someone bought me this one early on just because I'm a big space advocate, and this is actually a model rocket. You can see the engine goes in there, and this tube pops, and you have a parachute, and this is supposed to kind of glide back to Earth type of thing. So it's always fun launching that one. You never know what the hell it's going to do. Everyone just stands back and laughs. That's what we do. Bad, not to say anything about this NASA space program or whatever, but this thing is just comical. Whatever, it does weird things every time.